Let me explain to you where you went wrong. If the magic words you're looking for here are respondeat superior, are the magic words you're looking for. When a company hires somebody, they are responsible for anything that person does within the scope of their employment because they are an agent of the business, right? I mean, this shouldn't be this complicated. The business has hired you to do a job. So when you're doing that job, you are the business. You're not yourself. You're the business because you've been hired by the business to work for the business, and you are working and engaging as the business, right? I mean, this isn't super duper complicated. And you've agreed to this, and perhaps more importantly, your employer has agreed to this. Your employer has hired you to be their agent. You're their agent. You are doing things at their direction, on their behalf, in their name, for the purpose of furthering the business objective. Right? I mean, that's the short definition of employment, right? It's not super duper complicated. Which means that just like any agent, the principal, which is the person that hires you or commands you, is responsible and bound by the acts of their agent when they are acting within the scope of the agency. It's not super hard, right? That's the whole point. You hired the agent to do things on your behalf in your name. And then when they do the things on your behalf in your name, they've done it on your behalf and in your name. And you hired them or commanded them or extolled them to do the thing. So you're responsible for it under standard agency theory, right? At the risk of like trying to just use a simpler example to make this simple, let's suppose that you're let's suppose that you're Domino's, the corporate entity, and you hire a guy to be a pizza maker and delivery driver, as you might do as Domino's. So you've hired this guy to work in a Domino's. When he's there, he's doing things on behalf of the corporation. He's making pizzas on behalf of Domino's, the company, because Domino's has hired him, right? And then when he drives and eventually shows up at your door, assuming you've called directly Domino's, assuming you dialed them directly and didn't use like Uber or something, so this is their driver, right? They're going to show up in a Domino's shirt with a Domino's box and a Domino's receipt, and when they knock at the door and you say, "Who is it?" they're going to say, "It's Domino's." And they're not lying. It is actually literally Domino's. Literally, Domino's is standing at your door at this moment because this guy is an agent of Domino's. That's why he exists. So when he says it's Domino's, he's not lying. He really is Domino's in that moment because that's what he was hired to do. So if he does anything in the making of that pizza or in the scope of delivering the pizza that causes harm to somebody, Domino's eats it because they did it at Domino's directions.